What's going on, Big Blue Nation? Will Turpin, UK Superfan. On today's video, we're going to break down everything that you need to know to get you ready for the big game on Saturday. That's right, Kentucky and North Carolina. A game that we didn't even think we had on the schedule until just yesterday. But yeah, we'll be having North Carolina, Kentucky Saturday afternoon at 2 o'clock. This game's going to be on national television on CBS. It's part of the annual CBS Sports Classic. We played on a neutral floor up in Cleveland, Ohio at the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, which is the home of the Cleveland Cavaliers. North Carolina comes into this game with a record of 4-2. They're currently ranked 22nd in the nation. They've had wins over College of Charleston, UNLV, Stanford, and North Carolina Central. In their last game against North Carolina Central, I'll bring that one up in particularly. North Carolina Central was able to really slow the game down, and it was really odd to see Roy Williams play in a game that had that few possessions. That was the first thing that jumped off the page, and North Carolina Central hung with them the whole game. I don't even know how. I watched it, and I was just in dismay at how really North Carolina, if they really look at the tape, and I know they are, they had massive advantages down in the paint. And when they got the ball there, they were extremely successful. And that's kind of going to be a theme that you're going to hear on this video. I'm going to try to really fill you in on everything that you need to know about this Carolina basketball team. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get right into it. We're going to start off right there at the top. Caleb Love, he's a 6'4", 195-pound freshman guard. You know, Caleb, he's a five-star recruit. Coming into the season, he was probably thought of as a for sure one and done. And he's taken way more shots than anybody else on the team. But he's struggled to shoot the ball. I mean, unbelievably terrible shooting. I mean, he comes into the game 22 out of 73 for a lousy 31% from the field, and even uglier, 4 out of 25 on three-pointers for 16%. The great thing for North Carolina opponents is he leads North Carolina in field goal attempts and three-point attempts, even though he's statistically the worst shooter on the team. I can't imagine that that's going to continue. I can't imagine. I know Roy Williams has put a ton of faith in this young guard, and I mean, and North Carolina had a rough year last year. I mean, they went 14-19. So I mean that's the worst record Roy Williams has ever had in his career. And, you don't see a lot of 14-19s with North Carolina or Roy Williams, either one associated. But that's exactly what they were last year. And they really were relying on this young guard here, Caleb Love, to turn it around. And, Roy sort of gave him the keys to the car, through the first 6 games. But that shooting percentage is going to have to go up, or it's going to be very difficult for North Carolina to reach their ceiling. And really, I just hope that, he doesn't pick Saturday against us to kind of finally find his stroke. But I do think Caleb's a much better player than these numbers suggest. And, the slow start really is probably more of a case of just a freshman trying to get his feet under him. This is a really good athlete. He's got a 6'9" wingspan. There was a lot of things that impressed me about him. He's still trying to figure it all out. It's just a case of, a lot of these high-level recruits, freshmen that are coming in expected to start and play a lot of minutes. It's not just been a problem at Kentucky. It's been a problem across the entire landscape of college basketball this year. And it's a byproduct of everything that's going on, all the changes that's going on, and just a lack of being able to get the normal summer routine and playing exhibition games and all that. I heard Roy talking about, some of the same things I heard Cal talking about. Just that lack of exhibition and actual 5-on-5 practice. It's affected everybody. But right down the list, you're looking at North Carolina here. Next guy, R.J. Davis, he's the backcourt mate. Neither he or Caleb Love are traditional point guards, but they're just great offensive players is what they really are, even though they've not shown it thus far in the season. But, RJ, he's a 6 foot, 160-pound guard. Of course, he's a freshman too. Like I said, he and Caleb, neither one are true point guards, but they both can score with or without the ball, and so that makes them very dynamic having them on the floor together. RJ, he comes to North Carolina with a big time reputation for being really one of the best pure shooters in the entire incoming class of freshmen in the nation. But he has struggled himself. He's him and Caleb both have. They've just not been able to get enough good looks, and that AAU ball is just not working. And we've seen it with our Kentucky guards. I mean, B.J. Boston and Terrence Clark. I mean, they've had a massive, uh, you know, amount of energy that's had to be focused into just learning how to play at the D1 level, and the kind of experienced players that you can run across that maybe not be as athletic and talented as you are, but are in a system that they know real well. And RJ, he's shooting 21 out of 55, 38% from the field, 8 out of 23, 35% from the 3-point line. But I'll go ahead and say it right now. If you let this kid get his feet set, he will eat you alive. I mean, uh, you know, it will be a must not to give RJ any open looks to get him going, because that's the thing about this kid. Once he hits a shot or two and gets him going, man, it seems like when I looked at the tape, it seems like his defense and his energy on offense pick up tenfold, and he just starts getting so much confidence, and then he starts getting pull ups coming down the court. Uh, you know, he's just a dangerous player. A guy with his range and his ability to just score a lot of points in a short period of time. I mean, like I said, Kentucky has got to find a way. I mean, if you let this guy get 6, 7 threes on you, you're not beating this Carolina team. You're not. You're just not going to beat them. Uh, you know, it's not going to happen. But early on in the year, those guards have turned the ball over, and honestly, they've reminded me a lot of our guards. And just in the fact that they don't necessarily make the easy play that's right in front of them. They try to make they always are just trying to hit the hardest play on the court to make, and it's caused a lot of turnovers for Roy, and it's really hurt them and kept them from really being able to play the style of play that Roy really wants to play. But next up, now here's the glue guy right here. This is the guy who really stood out to me on tape here. This is a do it everything kind of player. 6'8". His name's Leaky Black. He's a 195-pound junior forward. This guy can go get a rebound for you. He can go block a shot for you. He's a glue guy. He just does a little bit of everything on the court and brings a ton of energy. But Leaky, he was plagued with injuries in both the first 2 seasons in Chapel Hill, but he's healthy this year. And in a running theme, that we've been going, he has struggled shooting the ball, just like most of this North Carolina team has. But he's an experienced player. One of the things that stuck out to me, he's got great court vision for a guy 6'8", that, can go up and block a shot, get a rebound. He can also, he can lead the fast break. I mean, just a really quality guy to have out on the floor. And in studying the Carolina team, I don't know if they really truly take advantage of his skill set near as much. Seems like, they don't really run a lot for him, and he just sort of goes out there and just makes plays. I mean, he's the guy that's going to be on the floor. If there's a loose ball, he's going to be sacrificing his body to go get it. He's a guy that just like I said, he just makes all those little, I call them winning plays. These little 50-50 balls and tip ins around the rim. He's just an athletic guy, and it's going to be a really tough matchup because he kind of typically plays the 3 for them, which is a small forward, but at 6'8", I mean, he can really leap, and just a tremendous athlete. So, I mean, I don't really know how, if it's B.J. Boston, I mean, Kentucky's going to really have their work cut out for them, I think, on the defensive end. They're really going to have to bring it. Now, it's time for me to really get to the strength in this North Carolina team, in my opinion. I mean, this is where this is where this team right here is so skilled, and it's their big guys, And let's just start the introduction out by saying that they're averaging out rebounding their opponents by 16 rebounds a game. That's right, they're averaging a plus 16 rebounding margin. That's what they're averaging for the season over their opponents. So there you go. First up, it's Garrison Brooks. Last year, most improved player in the ACC. He's a 6'10", 240-pound senior forward. He came into this season a preseason ACC Player of the Year pick. He averaged nearly 17 points, 9 boards last season. But I don't think Garrison Brooks is going to win ACC Player of the Year. Roy has really put, he's really handed the keys to this North Carolina team over to Caleb Love and RJ Davis. It seems like everything about their offense flows through those guys, and they're the ones that are taking the most shots. And, Garrison has sort of been bumped down to sort of third on the pecking order in the offensive system. Now, he's still averaging 12 points and 8 boards a game, so, it's not like he's just completely fell off or nothing. He's still right there, and at 6'10", 240 pounds, that's a load down low to take care of. Really athletic player. But if the guards continue to struggle, it wouldn't surprise me if Saturday if Roy don't demand that his young guards get the ball in the paint. And honestly, that's what I would do. They've got 3 really, really talented post players. I don't think that there's another team in the country that would have 3 guys that have the skill set that Carolina's 3 big men. The next guy up is Armando Bacot there, and he's another load in the paint. 6'10", 240-pound sophomore center. Armando, he was very inconsistent in his freshman season at both ends of the floor. At times, he looked like he was going to be a future NBA player, and then at times, last year in the games I called at Carolina, he just didn't look focused at all, and he did. It was just such an up and down season for him. But when he's locked in and focused, he's an absolute beast down in the paint, and he'll play physical. He uses that body. He'll put it right into you, and he'll bang with you. And he did show over the summer. He had a strong desire to become a better player, and he's got a good work ethic. He worked with former Tar Heel Ed Davis on low post offensive moves. During the summertime, spent a lot of time with Ed Davis, and he's a guy that Roy is counting on to take another big leap this year. And that's the starting 5 right there. None of those guys, though, are playing really much more than about 30, 31 minutes a game. These next 3 guys you see down here, they're all averaging double digits a game. First guy off the bench he's another beast down low in the paint. When either Brooks or Bacot's off the floor, it's usually Dayron Sharp that's in the game taking place of him. He's 6'11", 265-pound freshman, big man, and I'm telling you, Dayron Sharp, he was my favorite player to watch as I scouted for Carolina for this video. Why he's not starting, I don't know. You'd have to ask Roy. I couldn't tell you, but that kid plays hard. I think he plays harder than anybody on the team. He plays physical, more physical than anybody on the team. Loves body contact. He loves to get in there and bang around, and he was just fun to watch. He can catch the ball on the low post. He has great court vision. He was making some incredible passes out of the low post. He was fun to watch. He was the most fun player to watch on the entire team. That's why, like I said, I'm kind of shocked that he's not starting. And I sure hope that Roy doesn't decide to, on this Saturday against our Cats, I hope that's not when he decides, hey, let's just, let's unleash Dayron Sharp on the nation. I'm hoping that Roy doesn't decide to do that because he's only getting about 18 minutes a game right now. But you know, with the film I watched on Carolina in their last three games, I'd be shocked if those minutes don't get up in the mid 20s sooner rather than later because this kid's a hoss. And he's just way more polished than most freshman big man around that rim. He's really good, and he can set up shooters. He understands. He feels double teams coming, and makes accurate passes out of that post. I mean, kid's got some massive upside. I really think. And like I said, I thought he was just fun to watch. I like watching players that play the game the right way, and he does. He plays it the right way, and if Kentucky doesn't, really step up physically, Dayron Sharp and Armando Bacot and Garrison Brooks, those guys will just punk us out in the box down there. You know, it'll be interesting to see how this game flows because North Carolina wants to play fast, and normally Cal loves it when somebody wants to play fast because he wants his teams to play fast. But I'm not really sure if Kentucky wants to get in does want to get in a track meet with them because they're scoring. There's just so many unknowns because, like I said, both these teams. I mean, you can look at North Carolina and say, oh well, they're ranked and they're 4-2. But if Kentucky would have played the schedule North Carolina has, they'd probably be 4-2 as well. And I'm not knocking North Carolina. Everybody plays their schedule. I mean, we're not certainly any better than they are. But I'm just saying they're probably not that much better than us. I mean, I watched a lot of bad basketball in the 3.5 North Carolina games that I watched this afternoon, and there's plenty of bad basketball that they play. They make a lot of unnecessary turnovers. They're averaging, I think, almost 17 turnovers a game. It's not necessarily a lock there. They got a couple other guys there. Let me go ahead and get to them. Let's see here. Andrew Platek, he's a 6'4 senior guard. He's playing about 15 minutes a game. He can play more if necessary. He was sort of an afterthought, because most of the prognosticators coming into the season, they pretty much had the heralded freshman Love and Davis, garnering most of the attention in the guard play. But Platek's been a steady contributor for him early on in the season. Gives him a little offensive punch off the bench. And, if you don't guard him, he can knock down an open three. No doubt about it. Last but not least, I put this guy on the list here, Kerwin Walton. He's a 6'5 freshman guard. He only plays about 10 minutes a game, but when he's in the game, Roy Williams is telling him to shoot the ball. He's a lot like R.J. Davis, sort of a poor man's R.J. Davis, I guess you could say. But he has a reputation as a big-time shooter. And some people will be saying, Will, why are you breaking down a player that only averages 1 point per game? Well, I'll say this. North Carolina has not figured that all out yet. They're just like Kentucky. They're trying to figure out where all the puzzle pieces fit together. And I'm just telling you, this kid right here, lights out shooter. Lights out shooter. And when he's in the game, Roy's going to be encouraging him to shoot the basketball. And he's the kind of guy that could come in and play 10 or 12 minutes, but in that 10 or 12 minutes, he could hit 4 or 5 3-pointers. The guy is just, like I said, and these Carolina shooters, that's another thing that worries me is they come into this game struggling big time, and some of these guys have a big time track record for scoring the ball, and they're shooting at just putrid percentages. All their good shooters are, and that just scares the crap out of me because you just never know. And like I said, I'm just going to go ahead and put the UK coaching staff. I always put them on notice every game for one little tidbit or another that I pick up. And, you just don't know. Like I said, he's only averaging 1 point a game, playing about 10 minutes a game. But I know for a fact Roy's encouraging him to shoot the ball when he's in the game. And, like I said, don't leave him open. He can go 6 for 6 in 15 minutes easily and literally turn a whole game, flip a whole game. So, that's why I listed him. Kerwin Walton. Get on him. Don't leave him open, Kentucky. Don't leave him open. Don't give him a reason to, sort of change the way this game goes. After evaluating all the tape on Carolina, like I said, they picked up 4 super easy wins. Overall, I saw a team that makes a buku of mistakes. Uh, you know, they're they're ranked 22nd in the country, but they're averaging, like I said, nearly 17 turnovers a game. They remind me a lot of Kentucky on tape. A lot of careless passes. Not near enough ball movement. The guards are ball stoppers a lot of times. Tons of heavily contested forced shots. Just a lot of AAU basketball by both their guards. That's why their shooting percentages are so low. It's the same thing we've dealt with here with Terrence Clark and Brandon Boston. Struggling early. When they struggled, or Brandon really struggled early. Terrence has kind of started to come on since he started playing the point last game. But in the game before that, he scored pretty good. But I mean, a lot of growing pains for a lot of these young freshmen in the nation, and Carolina's are, guards have had, the same trouble ours had. But, Carolina has big time upside, just like our Cats, once they get it figured out, up until now, though, they haven't figured it out, and there's a lot of stuff on tape that I watched, and it'll be coming out in the next video tomorrow, and the keys to victory. I mean, I'm a lot less scared of this North Carolina team than I was that really good veteran Notre Dame team that we played the other day. And this North Carolina team has way better athletes, but they haven't figured it out yet. But the only thing that really, really concerns me when I was breaking down the film, the thing that really, really scares me a little bit is just their versatility down low. I mean, they've just got some horses down. I just don't know. I mean, Isaiah Jackson and Olivier Sarr are going to have to play together on the floor. And Kentucky this season has played better, in my opinion, when only one of them was on the floor. And they went with a smaller group. And probably not going to be able to do that against North Carolina. So, that's the thing that worries me. And, you can't let North Carolina out-rebound you by 15, 16 rebounds. And this Kentucky should be a good rebounding team, But, Isaiah Jackson and Olivier Sarr are going to have to play together in this game, or we're not going to have enough size on the floor to keep them from doing it. But at the same time, they've got to play well together. We're going to have to knock down shots. We're going to have to continue to play better than what we, have been playing in order to get this win. But North Carolina, if you can execute it all, North Carolina will let you stay in the game because they're just not at a point yet. They're sort of like us. They're just not at a point yet where they're going to go out and really reach their ceiling, early on in the season and what they can be. But they certainly have enough really good players that are due for a good game to, that's a concern too. If their guards was to come out and really light it up, and as good as their bigs are down low, I mean, they could blow the doors off of us. I ain't saying that they couldn't, but I'm just saying that early on, I do think by the end of the year, North Carolina is going to be a really good team. They're going to be able to make a tournament run. Roy's got a great squad. It wouldn't surprise me at all to see them make an Elite Eight or a Final Four with this team because they got all the pieces. I mean, they got the bigs. If they can just get these guards to gel with these big guys, they're going to have something really, really special in Chapel Hill. But you could say the same for us. If Clark and Mintz, now Davion, started the last game, but really played more two guard than he did anything. So we really moved a lot of our pieces around. But I will have a keys to victory video tomorrow to really highlight how Kentucky can attack them. But we'll throw one little tidbit out there right now. I mean, obviously, Caleb Love and R.J. Davis, neither one are great defenders at this point. And even with Caleb Love's, long wingspan, he's no match for Terrence Clark off the dribble. I mean, if Kentucky's going to win this game, Terrence Clark's going to have a 25, 30-point game. This is easily a spot where he can do that because, North Carolina's not going to play zone, so they're not worried about packing it in. I know they got athletes on the weak side like Leaky Black that can come off the weak side and help. But Terrence Clark should be able to get by these guards anytime he wants to. That'll be one advantage. But at the same time, their guards are both elite scorers, and if you let them get going, I mean they can both either sort of interchangeable. I guess Caleb is sort of running the point for him, but both those guards handle the ball a lot, and they both move with and without the basketball, on offense quite a bit. And if those guys ever get synced up and they get gelled up with their bigs, like I said, they'll be a hard team to handle. And Roy's really worked with this team just like Cal's been working with his team. They've actually had both coaches, I've heard them talk about the same things. Hey, we're starting to get time with our kids now. We're starting to get to the point where they're starting to get a little bit more practice time in and able to really get some of these immature problems corrected, because just being tough with the basketball and valuing the possessions, it just takes a little bit of time and experience to get that stuff taught and understood. To win a lot of games at the Division I level, you just have to value that basketball. You have to value those possessions, and Roy Williams and Coach Cal are both going through that. That's why you seen Davion Mintz moved into the starting lineup, was to get another experienced guy out there and put the ball in Terrence Clark's hands. And but we're also going to need B.J. Boston, who I thought really coming into the year, from everything I'd saw, I thought he could be one of the best players in the country. So, it certainly hasn't lived up to be that way. And right now, he's not even, he's probably the third or fourth best player on the team right now at best. So, we're going to need to get BJ going. We're going to need him to be a 16, 17 point a night guy for Kentucky to reach their ceiling. This is going to be one of those teams where I really feel like Clark and Boston both need to average over 15 a game for our Cats. And, Davion Mintz and Isaiah Jackson, Olivier Starr, they all need to be close to double digits. That's going to be the key for Kentucky right there. If they want to win games, they're going to have to score points. And North Carolina, they got the players to score a lot of points. They might not have done it yet, but they're doing 85, 90, 95, 100-point explosion. And I just hope it ain't Saturday against us. This is going to be a battle of two teams that have a ton of length. Kentucky probably won't play a team with this kind of length all year, and they probably have more length than we do, and you probably won't even see that for sure the rest of the season. So, there it is. That's what I've got. Appreciate everybody for all the likes and subscribes to the channel that we've gotten here lately. I appreciate everybody for the feedback here. A ton of it yesterday and today. It's been really, really cool. The Big Blue Nation is really supporting my channel and the videos. I can't thank y'all enough for all of it. I'm trying my best to keep improving these things. It's the wee hours of the morning as I'm finishing this one up, but I'm going to try to have it, all finished and ready for you guys first thing in the morning when y'all wake up. And like I said, if you haven't done it already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go on this journey with us. I still think Kentucky could have a very special season. A very special story could be told. A lot of basketball left to play. And getting a big win here Saturday against North Carolina would certainly be the recipe for getting the fan base reignited and rejuvenated. I felt a little bit of it the other day, even though we lost by a point, just because of the way we played hard in that second half. But, I know there's a lot of diehard Kentucky fans that, win, lose, or draw, they're going to be behind the Cats. And those are the kind of guys and gals that are watching my videos right now. So I really appreciate all you true blue hardcore UK basketball fans. My voice is about gone. So I'm going to get out of here and get some rest. And like I said, tomorrow we'll get keys to victory. I'll break down where I think North Carolina is the most vulnerable and how I think our coaching staff should be getting our team ready to attack these Tar Heels come Saturday afternoon. Go Big Blue, and I will see you guys on the next video. Thanks, y'all. Bye-bye.